you for coming. Welcome. Bienvenue. Today is a very great pleasure for us, in the Haitian community to receive, 5 incredible candidates for mayor for the great city of Boston. We're gonna ask a lot of questions, and I know you take, in your busy time, you take time to come to the Haitian community and to answer our question and to talk to you. Thank you, Elon. Well, Douglas, let's start the question, please.
All right, we're going to start with the icebreaker question. What do you consider the most significant Haitian contribution to the Boston economy?
Let's start with John Bowers.
Thank you very much for that question
I'm
and
sorry
for the icebreaker.
you have 1 minute to answer.
Okay, so I'll put my timer on real quickly.
Please.
Thanks for letting me know. But thanks for that question. It's the Haitian community is an important part of Boston's economy. And one of the biggest contributions to Boston's economy is Haitians as small business owners in our city. Whether it's Haitian restaurants, whether it's in the media space, which is a rich space of radio and television. But as a restaurateur, as a restaurant owner, I appreciate the presence of Haitian cuisine in different parts of the city of Boston. It is critical that we continue to have small business owners thriving in the city of Boston, but those small businesses make Boston special and make our neighborhood special. So let me just stop there just in case I'm over my minute.
Thank you so much. Mayor Kim Jenny, your turn now.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So I would agree with the small business. I think that has been a huge contribution, and small businesses are a lifeline in Boston's economy. And certainly Haitian radio is a way that many in the Haitian community get their news. I think I would add to that question the overall culture. Certainly food is a big part of that, but I would go back just in history to talk a little bit about Haiti's independence and what that has meant to me as a young girl growing up in Boston, and what that's meant for people all over the diaspora. And so I think, that is an important contribution. And Boston having a very large Haitian population, it is important that we recognize how connected we are to each other, and that we continue to be unified as we seek a more equitable city and opportunity for all of us. And so I'm very, just happy when I think about that history of Haiti in terms of independence and what it means for other countries like the United States. Right. And unfortunately, I'm arriving at the funeral and will have to get off the Zoom. But I do appreciate, again, the opportunity. I know I'm over my minute, but I wanted to thank everyone for putting on this discussion and hope to connect again in the near future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just see Anissa George. I don't know if you can introduce yourself, and Douglas, you can ask the question, and she can do both, introduce herself and answer the question. Douglas.
Hello, good evening. Anissa, are you with us?
I am. Thank you very much for having me. I've missed maybe what the question is. I'm just logging on now. Grateful certainly for the opportunity to introduce myself and talk about the very important work that we have to do, especially when we think about the leadership of this city. As mentioned, my name is Anissa Saibi George. I'm very proud to be an at-large city councilor over these last almost 6 years. Before joining the Boston City Council, I was a high school teacher here in Boston and spent 13 years in the classroom. My husband and I have 4 children. I've got a 16-year-old and 15-year-old triplets. And as you can imagine, it's a busy household as we get ready for the start of the next school year. And when I think about my work on the city council, when I think about the things that I certainly will prioritize as mayor of this city, it includes education, it includes the work of making sure that our small business owners across the city of Boston have an opportunity to be fully engaged in economic development, in the work of growing and sustaining their small businesses, as well as so many other things. I realize that I'm jumping in the middle here, so I don't want to take up too much time, and happy to also answer the question that's being proposed.
Let me ask you that the icebreaker question. What do you consider the most significant Haitian contribution to the Boston economy?
Oh, thank you. I don't know if there's just one. Certainly, we've seen the true influence and impact and beauty of the Haitian culture in our city, with one of the largest concentrations of Haitian people here in the city of Boston. For sure, we've seen the impact and the influence in true investment into the economy when we think about all of the small businesses that are owned and operated by and within the Haitian community, but beyond sort of where the Haitian community is concentrated here in the city. And then I will also add the contributions of art. I've had the privilege and the honor of participating in a number of art exhibits here in the city of Boston that feature both local Haitian American artists, as well as bringing in some of the most stunning creations from Haiti itself. I think, when I think about this city, when I think about the immigrant story, I'm the daughter of immigrants. Both my parents immigrated to the United States. You're welcome.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Michelle, who?
Thank you. I would echo what John and Anissa have both said about the amazing influence and impact of culture and our restaurants and so many of the ways in which the Haitian community is bringing that to Boston's strength. So I'll just add one other piece of it, which is that we know that the Haitian community makes up a huge proportion of our first responders as well. And especially in the pandemic, and the frontline workers in this health crisis have been members of this community. And so whether it is on the front lines in our hospitals and saving lives and working hard to make sure that people have the connections and supports that they need, I'm proud that the Haitian community has been a rock for Boston throughout this time and for a long time before that.